Okay, starting off from what we were talking about, I believe it was last week. Handlebars, controls, and mounting everything up. I did have some spare time this week and I did not record it. I do plan on getting a real camera. Right now I'm using my cell phone, which is stuck to a monitor mount that I used for AutoCAD, and I have since replaced that monitor and now it sits on the desk. So I'm using the monitor mount to literally take blue painter's tape and tape my phone to the mount. So if the video quality is not too good or the audio, it is what it is. Most people that I've spoke to, unless you spend a couple $100s on a video camera, the cell phone is a great camera. I've looked at my videos, they don't look bad. I remember having a camcorder and it was all fuzzy and nasty. So seems fine to me, but I do want to get something with a tripod, something that I can kind of move around or set and not have to literally tape it to a TV monitor. It's kind of strange. Anyway, this week I did have time to work on this. You can see I've got the mirror set. I actually have the indicator on. And let me see, I've got a battery sitting around here somewhere. Let me see if I can do this with one hand, which probably will be kind of difficult there. So you can see that that will be the turn. So what I did with that, this has a barrel connection that expands when you tighten the inside screw. Then this has a set pin and an Allen screw that locks into a groove. That wire comes out right here. I don't know if you can see that wire. And it's near the base where the handlebar connects to the bike. I could have brought it out right here and just tied it in with the rest of the cables that are coming down, but I figured it's one less thing that I've got to tie up around this section of the handlebar, so I figured it would be okay. The issue is, if you look, I've got a gap right here. I miscalculated on where to put this hole for this thing to set, so I need to move this over about a ½ inch. Now I've already got this side located. You can see the blue tape on here. This is the original hole that I had. The advantage is now I'm moving it enough this way to where the brake lever mount is going to cover that hole. If you're worried about water, stuff like that, you could take some silicone, shoot in here, then put the brake cover over it. I'm not overly worried about it right now because, like I said, I'm just mocking this whole thing up. It is a mistake. This handlebar I think was $22. So if I get it right and I have to disassemble it and purchase another handlebar and then drill it based off the one good one, I don't have an issue with that. It's 22 bucks. So what we need to do now is we need to re-drill this hole. And I do construction, so Milwaukee has been good to me. So you'll see a lot of my tools here are going to be Milwaukee, because once you set up with a particular kind of tool, you're kind of trapped due to the batteries. You don't want 50,000 different battery powered tools using different cells. And my bits, they're not too good. They've definitely seen their fair share of work. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to measure from here. I've already marked it. I've got a little black mark here where I stuck this on there with the blue tape. Since this is a metal pin, you can stick it on there where it needs to be. You can actually push on it just a little bit and roll it back and forth, and that's going to put a little mark on the tape, which I've already got. So now that that's done, I can kind of move this out of the way, and let's start drilling. This first one's pretty small, so let's give that a whirl, and I'm just going to come over directly square with that hole and do my starter. Since you're working with something round, if you think you're off and you need to bring the hole this direction, if you lean the drill this way, it will walk and recenter the hole square where you need it to be. This bit is not much. I do not think I have a better bit. I'm going to move forward with it. That is in pretty rough shape. This bit is rough. And I just thought about something before I drill all the way through that. I should probably remove my end light. I don't want to drill through and puncture that wire, so I'll have to refish that. So let's go ahead and remove that. Or at least fish it out to the point where I know if I hit it, it doesn't matter. I don't know if I really feel like taking this whole connection apart, because it was kind of hard to get in there and work with. Guess I should go ahead and just pull it just to be safe, and then we can fish it back out, fish that wire back through. Okay, it's out. Let's put the set screw back in here so we don't lose it. That's called the third hand when you use your chin. Alright, set screws back on. Now we don't have to worry, there's nothing else in there, so we don't have to worry about it. I do wish I had a new drill bit though. This one is far from good. definitely got a spot to start. Maybe I should just switch to a sharp bit. I don't think it would move now. I think I'm almost through. There it goes. Alright, let's step it up. Let's see how good this one feels. They're all pretty rough. A little better. Another dull one. Pretty sure this is the one we ended with, right? Which one did we end with? Had to be that one. It's definitely not looking like it. Well, which bit did I use? This one is definitely... Yeah, it is that one. Alright. So I guess what I gotta do now is just chamfer the edges. We can do that with the larger bit. Right, now let's hit it with the real big one. Okay, now that we've got a complete mess, let's pull this tape off, and I'll take a round file and just kind of clean it up. If I organized this place a little bit, I could probably do a lot more. There's a round file. We're just going to come in here and just clean up the edge. All I'm doing here is just trying to knock off the inside from where the drill went through. That's probably pretty good. Let's see if that fits. Seems to be okay. Here's the screws. So I'm going to have to pick this up, put it on its end. Yeah, I should probably take the throttle cables and everything off. It's a little much to try to hold it all. And put it on the towel down here. cables up. That looks pretty good. Now here's our brake assembly, brake lever. And as I said, that's going to cover the hole. So we're going to be in good shape. I am not going to put any silicone on that right now. If I choose to keep the handlebar and use this one, even though I misdrilled it, I can always take this off and apply a little silicone just under that. Yep, I'm upside down. I guess it really doesn't matter because I'm not going to be using the mirror hole anyway. But for right now, we'll put it on the way it's supposed to go, I guess. Guess I could put it on upside down, that way you wouldn't see that standoff that was designed for the mirror. Sometimes making mistakes, it's like, oh wow, that would actually work better. I'm just doing this by hand right now before I put the actual ratchet on it. I'm bringing them in a little bit. Once it gets snug, bring them in together. That way it collapses onto the pipe evenly. Alright. Now what I have to do is I have to refish this wire back through the handlebar for the end bar turn signal. And let's take a look at what we got this side versus this side. Much better. Now this control isn't on. If you see here, it's right where the bar starts to turn. And I can actually see the margin between the clamp and the electronic component. There's a little bit of a skew on this piece. Now on this side, since I was able to move it over, yeah, they're following true with one another now. They look perpendicular, so they're following. Looks good. Just a little too far over, and our gap here now by our mirror and our bracket for our indicator, it's a 1/16 of an inch. So that gives this enough room to move and be free so the throttle doesn't get stuck. Alrighty. I don't think I'm going to videotape me running a wire, fishing a wire through here into the center, because I'm going to have to take this piece out, fish the wire through, then reinsert it. Fishing wire is pretty simple. The holes are already there. So hopefully you kind of see what I did here, and if you plan on doing a project like this, you'll know, measure 3 times, drill once. Me, I'm even mocked it up first, and I thought I was right. Where I made my mistake, and this was a big mistake, these grips came with the end on them. So the rubber come around the grip. Well, I can't use that because I have a mirror and a turn signal on this end. So I literally had to take my belt sanding machine over here, put the grip on the belt sander, and when I machined and removed that rubber off the end, that was my 1/2 inch that I forgot, because I actually put the grip up here with the end on it. I said, okay, that's where the end is. And of course, once I modified the throttle piece to fit the new cut grip, I realized, oh, now I'm a 1/2 inch this direction. So try to keep everything in mind. You know, everyone makes mistakes. Hopefully you just learn by them. All right, hope you all have a great holiday, and God bless.